Hello again, Cougar Academy, Algebra 2A, and welcome to Lesson 2.4, Graphs of Linear Equations. So, essential question, how do you graph linear equations? Pretty easy stuff, especially if some of you this might be review. First off, examples, these are in what we call slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form has, it has a slope, so it's y equals mx plus b. M from last lesson is the slope, and b is what we refer to as the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Highlighted in blue here is the y-axis. One of the mistakes I see when students are relatively new with graphing or forgetting is which is the x and y axis. The y axis goes up and down. Okay, for number one here. So to graph these from slope-intercept form, pretty simple. What you can do is locate 5 on the y-axis. Y-axis, because it's the y-intercept. Here is 5. Boom. We're just going to plot that point, because that's the y-intercept. It intercepts the y-axis. From the slope, okay, or from there, we can just do a rise over run deal. I almost wrote deal over run. And we can rise and run. So from this point, you can try and rise 5. Now notice we go off the graph. So instead, you can fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then run to the left. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Please plot 2 to 3 points. Plot 2 to 3 points. And then use a ruler or something fancy. I have this little tool to use, which you may not, but connect your points. So rise over run. If you cannot rise that particular number, just fall and go to the left. Now, key thing. Remember, if you have a positive slope, it needs to be going up from left to right. All right, I see students mix up positive and negative slopes, and as trivial, as easy as graphing should be, they make mistakes. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please just type in your calculator. When in doubt, what was the term before? When in doubt, graph it out. If you are just to graph y is equal to 5 halves x plus 5, okay, and go to the table or go to the graph, that's what it should look like. So please use your graphing calculator at least to check. It's not cheating. It's just using your resources, so to speak. Okay, number 2, similar idea, -3. So we're going to start there on the y-axis. Now, just note to self, negative slope. So it should be going down. So make that mental check to yourself. It should be going down. Now, you can't quite see it. It's invisible, but it's just a -1 or -1 over 1. And that just means down 1 over 1. Boom, 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 boom. Plot a few, connect them, and go from there. I'm going to fix it, make it look a little nicer, and that's fine for me. Okay, so again, negative slopes down from left to right. Standard form examples. Standard form, there's different ways to do this. I would recommend try to put or solve into slope-intercept. And I'll show you another method later. But try to solve into slope-intercept form. So that just means we're going to solve for y. So we're going to subtract x over, meaning that we have y is equal to -x plus 1. Okay, we're just going to go up 1 then. Slope of -1. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and so forth. So try to put them into slope-intercept form. Sometimes you might get nasty decimals. I'll show you another technique later, how to take care of those. Also, another way, a great way to graph, is check out the table of values. Okay, and we'll use that for number 4 here. Okay, number 4. So we're going to solve it for y. Try to solve for y. That means subtract 5x, subtract 5x. Okay, so that's negative 4y is equal to negative 5x plus 8 divided by negative 4. That means y is equal to positive 5/4 x minus 2. Okay, still not too bad. I left my fraction, I just made it positive. That way we can do rise over run. So negative 2, go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 2. And I think we'll run out of space. We try that again. Now, another way to graph these is once you solve for y, use the graphing calculator table, gcalc table. How you do that is in your graphing calculator, please type in the 5/4 x minus 2. And again, I know that this was easy to graph because of the points, but here is just a helpful trick. Go to second graph. That's how you find a table of values. Second graph. All of these points, okay, all of the points in the calculator are on this graph. So if we notice, we have 0, negative 2. That is here. The next point, 2, 1/2 essentially. Over 2, up 1/2. It's hard to see, okay, but it is there. Did I graph this wrong? I did. What are you doing, Mr. Dvorsky? I'm just going too quick. So I used the table to check. All right. I went up 2. Up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is better. If you're following along at home, you're like, what did he do? Well, I'm showing you all these things to not make mistakes and to be a little more precise. Okay? So sorry about that. But hey, we're all learning. And that's why I used my graphing calculator and went to the table. So I noticed the next point was 2.5, which should have been about there, so we're okay. On the graphing calculator as well, 4, 3 over 4 up 3, that's where that is. So the graphing calculator, great way to check your work and go from there. So Mr. D making mistakes, please have that one fixed. And again, it's all part of the game. Okay, so moving on. Advanced examples. 4y minus x minus 8 equals 0. What? Again, let's just get it into one of our forms. So try and solve for y. Try and get it into that slope-intercept form. 4y minus x, so that just starts 4y. We're going to add x and add 8. Divide by 4. That's y is equal to 1/4 x plus 2. X over 4 is also 1/4. Let's see if I can graph this one in my head. So up 2, up 1 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what I was thinking last time. Just mind was somewhere else. And down 1 over 4. So a little sloppy. We'll connect those points. It can be helpful to check, as long as we did our math right, y is equal to 1/4 x, this time plus 2, And hopefully my graphs look similar. Okay, that's better. Number 6. All right, so different options. Let's try and solve for y. So 9y is equal to, I would have subtracted 3x and added 9. Divided by 9. So this time, y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 1. I'm going to just show you the calculator trick again. Okay, so negative 1/3 x plus 1. Go to the table. This is going to give me some points. So if I look at the table, looking for nice x and y values. First one I see is 0, 1. So that's a corner point over 0, up 1, which I did know from my y-intercept. And then 3, 0. So over 3 to 0. That's down 1 over 3. So it's matching out. Okay. Almost through with graphing. Want to show you 2 special ones. Okay, very quick. Y equals 5. So notice there is no x, there is no slope. This should just remind you, if it's y equals, that's a horizontal line. Okay, it's really just going to take memorization for the most part. Y is equal to 5 is a horizontal line through 5. Y is a horizontal line. X equals 5. That is a vertical line through all the values that are 5. So 5 here, that's all these. I'm drawing in blue right along there. So if it's just x equals, that's a vertical line. If it is just y equals, that's a horizontal line. Okay, so that's all of graphing lines. Use your calculator. Take your time. Try not to make silly mistakes, but they happen. So great job, guys. Do your best.